was the night before Toastmasters, and all through my house, not a creature was stirring except for my spouse. Our stockings are hung, our Christmas tree's all lit. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot. I have to give a speech tomorrow. Shit. So I jump from my couch, I chug my wine in a hurry, think to myself, what am I going to talk about? And then I start to scurry. And then I recall what a wise man once said. Just talk about something you love. You can wing it. So I'm going to talk about fashion. You can think, Greg. So normally when I would talk about fashion, I would talk about how to style your life or how to accessorize, or maybe what to wear to your company holiday party. However, I'm going to go a little bit deeper. I'm not talking about a different color of hue. I'm going to talk about why I really love fashion. To me, there are two reasons, and it's not just about the designer, it's not just about the price tag or what's trendy. To me, it's about the blending of creativity and practicality. Let me tell you what I mean. So whenever I get dressed, I make a choice whether to wear a certain color or a pattern, and this is just my way of getting the creativity out. I can't draw, I cannot color very well, and I certainly can't paint, and it's really hard for me to frame up an object and take a really great picture. But what I can do is I can take a basic white t-shirt, jeans, and I can either wear a fun scarf, some interesting earrings, maybe a leopard print, I guess flats or belt, and I could wear a leather jacket. That's easy for me. And that's just a way that I can get that creativity out. And it doesn't just stop with clothing in fashion. It also happens in everyday life. So for instance, 2 years ago, I was redecorating my living room, and I was having the hardest time trying to figure out what color I was gonna make the walls, what throw pillow patterns I was gonna have, and so on and so forth. And one of my friends gave me the best advice. You should always decorate a room in the colors and patterns that look best on you. I think that's pretty genius, because whenever you walk into that room, you not only feel good, you look pretty good in it too. So that's a little bit about the creative component that really I love about fashion. So now let's talk about the practical side. The practical side. You guys, I am going to give you one of the best little nuggets that I learned about in college. And it's dangerous. I'm going to preface this by saying it's a dangerous little nugget. And it may or may not cause some disruption in your marriage or your relationship. Now, this dangerous calculus is known as cost per wear. If anybody's ever heard of cost per wear, it's fabulous and you can justify pretty much anything. So, cost per wear, what does that mean? You pretty much take the cost of an item and you divide it by the number of times you wear it in a year, or number of times or days in a year. So again, that could be a little dangerous, but it's really important for people that have bloated closets, or if you live with somebody that has a bloated closet. For example of cost per wear, you could purchase a pair of $200 sunglasses, and you would have to wear them a total of 200 times during the year to get that cost per wear down to $1. That's pretty easy because normally people wear sunglasses when they drive to work. I do almost every day, so I could probably get that down to about 49 cents in a year. Now, it's a little harder when you start to consider the cost per wear for, let's say, shoes. If I were going to spend $200 on a pair of shoes, it's not very likely that I'm going to wear those 200 times in a year. Instead, I would purchase the shoes and get them shipped to my office, and then avoid the conversation or argument that I have with my spouse. So you can see that cost per wear is just brilliant. And some people see it as a justification mechanism, which it is, sure, but it's also a way to help you and your spouse not fight. So that's the practical side of the two. So blending the two together, I will tell a quick story about my personal experience of the two. So I recently got married, and instead of having my bridesmaids spend $450 on their beautiful gowns, I had them rent them. And if anybody has ever heard of Rent the Runway, or if you haven't, you should definitely check it out because I pretty much live by it. But instead of having them spend $450, they spent $75 on a dress that they were going to wear one time. That's pretty creative and it's practical, right? So those are just a couple of reasons why fashion is important to me and the deeper meaning behind it. And I, of course, love to style, and I love to, I'd help anybody if you guys want it. You guys can text me. Should I say yay or nay? Whatever. Just text me, and I'm pretty honest about it. And then if you ever want to know what to wear to a holiday party, or tonight even, I guess we have the Toastmaster holiday party, I would say probably not dressing up too much because it's at Chat's gym, right? So you have to know the environment in which you're going into. So those are just a couple of tips and what makes me really passionate about fashion. All right, thank you.